Thanks to the support as a channel member, A.D. Richardson. Well, boys and girls, we've survived the January transfer window despite Jackson Hernandez being this close to leaving the club. We've managed to secure a new contract for him, which means we should still be looking good for the playoffs, even though we're now 20 points behind the Charlotte Academy. Hello, welcome to part 18 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have games in the league for you away against Albertson and Pocono Snow. Since you were last with me, we've played quite a few matches. It's been our usual pretty good promotion form, which isn't good enough to keep up with the ridiculousness that is the Charlotte FC Academy. I've never seen anything like it. 27 wins from 27 games now. What are we supposed to do? Have they ever lost a game? Let's just go back at their competition history. They have never lost a football match in the history of their club. So in Tier 10, 46 from 46, scoring 162 goals, conceding only 4. Then 42 from 42. And so far this season, 27 from 27. They've already scored over 100 goals this season. They are ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. We're not competing with them. We're competing with everybody else to try and get up through the playoffs. We have just got ourselves knocked out of the FA Vars in the 6th round as well against Project 510 from the Southern California League, the SoCal League. Very, very snazzy. So it's just the league now between us and the end of the season. So I think what we're probably going to do, we'll play these couple of matches today, then I'll play through the rest of the season, and just come back for the playoffs tomorrow, unless something particularly interesting happens. And by particularly, the only thing that could really happen is Charlotte collapsing, which is not going to happen, or us collapsing, which hopefully won't happen either. But we should be pretty much safe for the playoffs at this point. This is going to be our team for the Albertson game. We've got Kotelyarov in goal, a backfour of Logan, Hall, Nice and Garlic, Goncalves and Gonzalez in midfield, and then Torres and Huyan supporting Stearns and Hernandez up front. Let's throw these boys into this match and hopefully come away with 3 points. That's got to be the plan. The teams are warming up. They've got a player called Augustus Klanowski in their team, which quite frankly is one of the best names I've ever seen, not just in Football Manager, but just in the history of names. Imagine being called Augustus Klanowski. Let me know down in the comments, have you got a name better than Augustus Klanowski? I know, factually, you haven't. But you might really like your name and want to be able to take on Augustus Klanowski and lose. Let me know down in the comments section below. Still 0-0 after a little bit of an early scare from, I forget who we're playing. ASC, what was that short for? Huyan plays it across to Hernandez. This should be 1-0. Somehow it's not 1-0. The goalkeeper's name says it all. Bah! How have we not scored there? It's going to be Torres taking the corner. Nice is there with the header, but that goes just over as well. It's been a very lively start. It's Albertson SC, so Sporting Club, presumably. They are rock bottom of the league, 15 points, 13 points clear of safety. This should be a comfortable win for us today, although we've actually not started particularly dominantly. It's been very end-to-end early on. You wouldn't have necessarily known from just looking at it which team was the one that was pushing for promotion and which was the one that's already effectively relegated. And that, as the one pushing for promotion, is probably quite alarming. Nice plays it to Garlic. Garlic looking for Stearns, who can't get to the header for the flick on, and it's back with Albertson again, who are trying to get another attack going. We need someone to get a foot in here. Goncalves does, and Huyan has come back tracking defensively as well to try and get something going forward again. But once again, the ball is lumped clear and it's back with an Albertson player and coming straight back at us. This is not acceptable, really. We should be a couple of goals. Charlotte would be a couple of goals up at this point. But then this is Charlotte, who've never dropped a point in nearly 3 years of football. But still, as it stands, Reading United have actually jumped above us. Maybe we will have to come back for some of this run-in. Surely we're not going to bottle the playoffs as well after having this stuffing kicked out of us by Charlotte and realising that we're not going to win the league this year fairly early on. The media prediction's actually taken us down. We were originally, I think we started the season 3rd on the media prediction. We have now dropped down to 5th on that. and somehow have gone behind against the team that are bottom of the league. This is absolutely not part of today's script. It's a very good goal. We can't have too many complaints about the manner that we've conceded, but the fact that they've had so many opportunities to open the scoring, we definitely do need to be a little bit worried about. They've had far more XG, far more possession of the football, far more chances. We're supposed to be pushing for promotion. Huyan trying to sneak it through to Hernandez because that's our typical route to goal, but their goalkeeper's just there hoovering that up again. And we're in a little bit of trouble here. Torres playing it back to Logan. Logan with the ball forward for Hernandez with the flick on for Stearns. Stearns trying to apply the finish, but it's another corner. Their goalkeeper is having a good game. 32 minutes gone now. Torres with the outswinger looking for Nice. Can't find him and just doesn't seem to have any drive, any oomph to get the ball back into the penalty area again. This is not acceptable. We're going to demand more. I'm close to berating. I don't berate very often, but this is one of the worst performances, if not the worst performance we've had in this series so far. I'm going to, what can I do? Thrash my arms. I can point my finger. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed in each and every one of you. This has not been okay. And we need goals. We need goals fast. I am berating them. Let's see what berating does. Huyan's a yellow card away from a suspension, apparently. Hernandez has given everything, supposedly, so Tapia can come on for him. Who else have we got as a potential attacking change? Briones can come on in midfield there. And then what else have we got? Stephen Stone. He can come on for Stearns. We'll do a triple change. We'll see if between them lot they can conjure anything up. We're demanding more. But once again, it's Albertson with the ball. We've not looked like scoring a goal. Tapia collects it with his back to goal, plays it back to Torres. Torres now trying to play it over the top for Tapia to chase onto, but he doesn't chase it. And this just looks like lower league dross at the moment. It's just one long ball after the other, end to end. Torres, once again, playing it into Stone. Stone had Tapia ahead of him, but didn't kick the ball in the right direction. I mean, there's no complicated analysis needed on that. That's a perfect description of what happened. He didn't kick the ball in the right direction. How hard is it to kick the ball in the right direction? We're 2-0 down. This is unfathomable. How is this happening? I don't want to see the replay because it's going to really upset me. Demand more again. Hall playing it forward aimlessly again. Gonzalez to Briones. Briones is playing Huyan in. These are two of our better players. We know Huyan's got enough about him to get us back into this game. He squares it nicely for Stone, but his header is, it's an easy save all day long for the Albertson goalkeeper. And once again, we're under a little bit of pressure from the long ball forward. And we're just not dealing with it very well. And then when we do get hold of the ball, we're just giving it back to them. And they're better at it than we are. How is this a thing? Torres now. I've said that name a lot today, but he's not really done anything. Torres has got plenty of options ahead of him. He's shot from miles out and missed by even further. He may as well have not kicked it. Just, if you're going to do that again, just leave the ball where it was. It ends up closer to goal. You don't even need to waste your energy kicking it. This is disgusting. An absolute disgrace of a performance. I'm berating them again. I've never done double berate. I'm throwing the water bottle. That was absolutely unacceptable. I don't believe what I've just seen. Well, we're not playing Pocono Snow now because, believe it or not, snow. The game was called off. So it's been about 10 days since our last game. We've had a little bit of time to lick our wounds. We're now at home against Corpus Christi and we've switched things around a little bit. Stone coming back into the team up front to go alongside Hernandez. Williams coming back in on the left. Briones is going to be starting in central midfield. Hopefully those changes should be enough for us to... we need to steamroller all over this lot to reassert our dominance. That's the plan anyway. I also had a media note come through saying that Koteljarov is about to become our all-time record appearance holder, which, bearing in mind I've not learnt to say his name yet, so it shows just how much much of a turnover of players we've had in these first couple of years. Now we're able to offer a few contracts. Like most of this team are in on at least a 1-year contract now, so hopefully some of these guys will stick around for the foreseeable, the likes of Huyan, Hernandez. These are players I'd like to keep around the club for a while if we can. But Kotyarov has set himself a record there, and Hernandez is in the process of setting himself a record. We're only 3 minutes in. We've already had the ball in the back of the net once, but it was disallowed. Not so this time. It's Huyan down the right-hand side, drills it across to Jackson Hernandez, who, for the 42nd time this season, fires the ball home to put Bourne 1-0 up. It's not the 42nd time he's put us 1-0 up in a game. That would be weird. It is the 42nd time he's scored, though, and that is exactly the start that we were looking for. Williams plays it back to Briones, and now Logan on this left-hand side. Cross coming over, Stone trying to get under it, but couldn't get there. And I'd like a couple more. I really want to send a message in this game. Stone is in here, plays it across to Hernandez, and that's his second of the game. There's only 10 minutes gone. It's 43 for the season now for Jackson Hernandez. What a signing he's turning out to be. How important is it going to be that we did manage to keep hold of him back in January when there were offers from other clubs? And I've just noticed as well, Reading United 1-0 down in their game. So despite us having the one game advantage because of the Pocono Snow game, which we're going to be playing not straight after this one, in a couple of days' time, we make up our game in hand. That should, as things stand, if we can, assuming we can pick up the victory, be enough to put us back up into second place again, because we're only 1 point behind Reading with that one game advantage, and Brooke has just made it 3-0 inside the first half an hour. It's safe to say, boys and girls, that we are back. I don't know what happened to us against Albertson, and well, it looks like they're having a little bit of a turnaround in form because they're winning again today. So maybe they've appointed a new manager and are just in the midst of a great escape. That would be an interesting thing. I guess, for they're not winning, they're losing against Houston. They were drawing for a time, and it was putting them above the New Jersey Academy. But now the goal for Houston has gone in. They are back down rock bottom to the league again, which is where we found them, and it's where they'll stay. They had a good day at the same time as we had a bad day, and we're not going to talk about it anymore. It looks like Reading have equalised in their game because the gap at the top between us and them is back to 2 points. So that would still be enough for us to leapfrog back above them again if we beat the Pocono Snow. But of course, there's still 45 minutes of football to play, and Reading would probably be looking to grab a winner in their game because they have been in very, very good form as part of this pack that have been chasing us down for the majority of the season. Remember when we were going win for win with Charlotte? It feels like an awfully long time ago now. The ball in, looking for the run of Huyan, but he couldn't quite keep up with it. It goes out of play. It remains 3-0 as we're still in the early stages of this second half. Charlotte were losing very briefly against Bethesda. Bethesda going 1-0 up on 20 minutes. Charlotte turned it around early in the second half, but that is very interesting. And Reading, it's now 2-2 between Reading and whoever it was they were playing. I didn't get a chance to have a look to see who they were facing, but Reading certainly being tested today as well. It's been an episode for strange results, it seems, which does put the last game into context a little bit, I guess. I'll worry about it less if the normal order of things is restored. Let's just have a little look at the bench, see if there's any changes we can make. The midfield have been really poor again. I'm really struggling to get a settled midfield. I'm going to stick Stearns in there. He's not a natural central midfielder. That's not to say he can't become one. So we'll stick him in there and see how he gets on alongside... who have I put him alongside of in there? Kay, the big boy, Kay. And Nice playing the ball forward as Stone with the flick on for Hernandez. And there is the hat-trick for Jackson Hernandez. It's a 44th goal of the season for him, a third for the afternoon, 4-0 for us. And things are going really rather splendidly. I do want to take this opportunity as well to address streaming. I know this is now my third day back making video content, and some of you are probably rightly wondering why the stream hasn't come back to Twitch yet. I don't know if you can hear in my voice how much it is cracking and going towards the end of a recording session. I'm still not close to 100% after being sick last week. I don't need to get into the disgusting details of how I'm still ill, but I'm not close to 100% yet. And just sitting at my desk for a couple of hours to knock these videos out, it is kind of knocking me for six a little bit, taking my voice away, and I just don't think I've got 2 or 3 hours sat here in me at the moment to do a stream as well. So I'm going to keep the video content coming. Hopefully this is just a stomach flu that's had a bit of a pain in the backside, literally a bit of a pain in the backside, trying to kick it and get rid of it, and not because I did test negative for COVID, so I'm hoping it's not a case of that was a false negative and I've got this whole long COVID nonsense. It's been like 10 days now of struggling a little bit, but I'm hoping it's not that. And anytime I should be back to full strength and you won't hear me croaking through the second half of videos anymore. We'll be back streaming again and it'll be all like none of this ever happened. But for now, I know some of you would have been wondering, that's why the streams haven't come back yet. It's just the nature of the business that I've got to prioritize YouTube over Twitch. It's where I make most of my money. I do love streaming and I can't wait to get back. I'm kind of a bit of a loss in the evenings. I was sat there. I mean, I'm basically talking as if we're streaming now, but I sat there last night when I would normally be streaming, just miserable look on my face, lying on the bed, playing Stardew Valley on my Switch, which, I mean, I can't do that for 3 hours. There's only one game I can play for an extended length of time, and it's this one. I don't want to clown around in front of the camera while I'm doing it, and I am determined to get back to full fitness and be able to do that again very soon. But we are coming into the finishing parts of this game now. It's a 4th for the afternoon for Jackson Hernandez. Puts him to 45 for the season. He's going to be setting records this season that are never going to be equaled, I don't think. This has been a quite stupendous performance from Hernandez again in front of goal. And Huyan is clocking up some assists without even really needing to try, because he just has to put it into the path of Hernandez. And it's another one in the assist column for him. So that's probably another record that's going to take a long time to get beaten, if it ever does get beaten. This is certainly going forward a bit of a special team. If we had anything resembling a defence, we might have actually given Charlotte more of a run for their money this year. As it was, we're all attack, no defence, all mouth, no trousers. That's what that means. 5 for this game now for Hernandez. I think he's done that before. I don't think that's even setting a new record. I don't think that's the first time this year he's scored 5 goals in a game. But where was this version of Jackson Hernandez in that last match? Could he not have saved a couple of these goals for them lot and grabs us a few extra points? Apparently he couldn't. Why I order. Like I said before, though, I think we're probably going to go through till most of the way through to the end of the season. We might do the final 2 games of the regular season. If there's a chance we might not end up in those playoffs. Otherwise, we'll probably just get straight into the playoffs tomorrow and take it from there. Actually, looking at the league table, it's probably more likely I will show you the last couple of regular games, because it's only an 8-point gap. And if we don't, we'll see how our form is. We'll play it by ear. I think that's for the best. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.